Hi everyone, welcome to this Google Digital Garage training session on social media strategy. My name is Benedict. I'm a trainer for Google's free skills training program, Google Digital Garage. Just a bit about myself. I'm an experienced coding specialist and digital skills trainer, as well as having a background in the digital creative industry. And I've worked in this sector for over 20 years. I would also like to introduce our amazing moderator, Roshane. Roshane is also a Google Digital Garage coach and will be interacting with you and answering just about all of your questions via the instant chat to the right there. You can identify the moderator by her name, Roshane, as well as a little blue spanner next to her name. Now, just before we start, I just wanted to call out a few things to help you today. Firstly, if you're having any trouble viewing the webinar at any point, please do try refreshing the page. If you would like to join the instant chat today, it's a great opportunity, so don't miss out on this. You do need a YouTube account, which you can very easily set up by clicking in the box on the right there, you'll see, for signing up. We'll be pausing throughout the session to answer some of the questions, which Roshane will kindly pass across to me. So please do feel free to fire away with your question throughout. Now, just to let you know, we are running this Google Digital Garage virtual training as part of a broader offering of courses. If you would like to check out our schedule of upcoming webinar training, please see the information on this in the description below, which links you through to our website. Okay. Today, what we'll be covering, of course, social media strategy, and possibly you're interested in working in social media, and possibly you're a small to medium business considering starting social channels for your business. So what are the key skills to help you land that particular side of social media? All right, so we're going to be looking at quite a few of those different things. Just going to ask you as well, can you please introduce yourselves? I can see some of you already. If you can tell us where you're signing on from, what part of the world, would be really nice, because then I can welcome you to from that particular place in the world, which would be really nice. I can see already Piano XD, welcome, and I think it's Axelon Sticks. That's great, very excited. So hopefully this will all help you a lot. Muskan. And Ankit, Ankit's from India, welcome from India. Devika from India, welcome. And Muskan from India, welcome. It's great that you're here. Anyone else? Let me see now. Piano XD, video editor, I wanted to learn. Okay, great, video. So hopefully this will help you a little bit. And also we've got, hello, Sarah. Sorry, Sarah from Austria. Okay, so welcome all of you. And Axel Sticks from Dubai, welcome. It's great to have you here. So everyone, it's so nice to have you all here. I'll keep my eye on that occasionally just to see if you're introducing. We've got Mo from Thailand as well. I'll keep my eye on it just in case any of you further ones who are actually introducing yourselves. But great opportunity. So let us now get started on the talk. Now, there's three different areas we're going to be covering. We always do cover the three different sides. Sarah from Dubai as well. Excellent. Yes. So I'm going to go through a couple of the different things here. Okay. Yes, it is. So the three sides we're going to be covering. So firstly, social media to help grow a business. All right. And then the second, building a social media strategy and measuring success, which is very, very important because a lot of people get started on it and they're not really tracking it and seeing if they're succeeding with it. And then the third and last part, we're going to be looking at best practices for social media. Okay, now there's something I want to introduce for all of you. Now, this is for charities and small businesses in the United Kingdom. My apologies for those in the, we've got Naveed from Pakistan. Welcome. Someone in Karachi, welcome to here to join us. This offering, I'm afraid, at the moment is only for the UK, for small business. If you're part of a small business or a charity in the United Kingdom, great opportunity. One of us could be talking directly to you. Hopefully, this will eventually expand to different parts of the world, obviously, but, at present, it's just in the United Kingdom. So do please, if you are in the United Kingdom, a small business charity, please do take this opportunity to sign up. Roshane will be giving you the link and everything to actually sign on to this. And it's a great opportunity because we will be there to assist you and help you, of course, totally free as well, no charge at all. And we can assist you and help you and someone to bounce the different ideas whilst you're developing your company. Okay. All right. So let's get started with this now. So how social media can help grow a business. All right. So we're going to explore some of the ways it can help you to do just that. Now, we're all aware of the impact it's had on our social communication. So let's have a look at the different things, particularly during the COVID-19, of course. Welcome Ruchi from London, and welcome Nurhan from Egypt. I think I've seen you before, Nurhan. Welcome. Okay, let's just get started. So your customers live on social media. I know with my own children, certainly. I've seen a lot of social media I never knew existed sometimes. So 44 million active social media users in the United Kingdom, and actually 1 hour, 54 minutes average daily use of social media on any device. Now, some of you might think that's not many hours. Normally I spend more, or the reverse case, but generally that's the sort of average they've managed to work out. And of course, especially for the young audience, often they know much more social media, as I was saying. And welcome Yuri from Israel. So, of course, YouTube and Facebook are by far the most popular platforms among UK adults online, actually, respectively 85 and 78%. Who actually used. And although Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Snapchat are often mentioned in mainstream or trade media, their use remains relatively contained among UK adults online. So respectively 45%, 30%, 29%, and 20%. Just get the full stats there. Periscope remains niche at 6%. The stickiest platforms are actually Facebook, 59% of UK adults online use it daily, WhatsApp, 28%, and YouTube, 27%, just to give you a little bit of the stats, all right. Now, that's to give you a rough idea to get you started. Now, of course, if you're considering starting social media for your company, or you need to persuade your manager for why it could be a good fit, here's some of the value it can actually add. The big thing is you can reach new audiences with up to 84% of the UK population on some social media platforms. Makes a good place to connect with new customers. That said, it's not free and often requires investment in order to effectively reach the right audience. When I say it's not free, I'm talking about when you boost different posts and that kind of thing. All right, so new business opportunities. It gives you opportunity to connect with customers in different ways, such as facilitating competitions, interactive, and that kind of side. It gives you a more personal side of your business. Certainly, if your business is a big, corporate company, it gives you more the personal side than communication side. It gives you ability to highly target demographics. From age to gender to lifestyle preferences and interests, you can actually micro-target a range of different audiences with great granularity. And then you can build relationships and networks, of course. It can help you really to find influencers around certain subject matters as well. And of course, think about niche audience as well. Even though they are fundamentally free, you may need to pay to actually reach specific customers, depending on your particular your company. See, Muskan here uses Instagram, Twitter, and Davika at the moment, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. That's great. So some of you are already using it. So hopefully this will help you even further. The big thing here is to add value to your brand. It's a great way, of course, so raise customer service levels, of course, because you're there to answer any questions. Great for starting two-way conversations. As I said before, I mentioned before, it shows a new side to your business, a more personal side, and it actually helps you build your own community. Now, of course, it's a great way as well to actually tell your story and showcase your brand ethos, of course. It's a great way to showcase your brand. It can be, a unique selling point being a smaller business as well. You can find what particularly you provide, which people are really looking for. And you can do research by looking at your competitors and finding out what people are particularly looking for. So that gives you an idea. It certainly story is a great element to use because we all know story and we all look for a certain element of story to follow the different people and really to gauge whether we resonate with a company or not. Okay. And of course, two-way conversation, you can't beat that. All right. So the big thing is, of course, improving your marketing. So helping you get noticed, particularly on search, attract more people to your site, gain valuable customer insights because of the different things that they're asking for, what they're not happy with, all those kind of the feedback that you're getting. And of course, you can keep your eye on your competitors because you can learn so much from them. Have you as well, for example, have you ever spotted a social tweet come up in Google search? Yeah, because it comes up in the different things with Google search. Largely is to understand your customers better. In all our talks, we talk about understand your customers is the first priority. So who they follow, when they follow, etc., all these different things. And if you haven't launched yet, you can always look at your competitors and learn from them as well. So, and of course, as well, your competitors are giving away their tweets publicly, and you can learn so much from this and find out what works and everything. Okay, so ask yourself these questions, are my posts on social media driving people to my website? There's always analytics or insights or whatever it might be called on all the different social media, and you can use that to actually find out different information to help you. Who are my most influential followers? Okay, so you can pick up all of this information there to help you. What kind of updates should I post? What kind of elements should you be putting in? And when is the best time to engage with my audience? These are good questions to kind of work out when to put the different posts, what kind of updates, what different information, who you're getting through to. Analytics can really help you what's actually gains the most interest and engagement. There's always analytics with all social media, and to help you find those influencers, and we've discussed before, to turn into advocates for your brand. I mean, that's the ideal thing. And then knowing this will help you target and get the most engagement for your investment. All right, remember, we have an 8-second attention span, but that decreases rapidly on social media just because there's so much we have to choose from when we go out there. Think of the supermarket. You go out there, there's so many different kinds of loaves of bread. You just want, in the end, just a loaf of bread. But, it's often an issue. So the attention span is short. So some estimate it actually now to be 3 seconds. So the content you create has to be good enough to stop someone's thumb scrolling past. Okay, you all know that. Lots of other brands to compete with for attention, which means you really need to work extra hard to stand out. It's a misconception that social is a free way of growing your audience. Whether you're investing in ads in order to reach people, investing with people, resource, or content creation, make sure you clearly define your goals so you can ensure you're actually getting a good return on investment, ROI. You've probably heard of this, return on investment. And make sure you're careful in what and how you post to avoid public relations disasters, PR disasters. Once something is out there, it can't easily be erased, especially if it goes viral for the wrong reason. If there's anything negative, whatever, a negative response, feedback, always remember, respond proactively, positively and proactively as best to solve the problem. Okay. Questions. Let us pause now for questions. Let's just see if there's any questions so far. I see you discussing a little bit with Facebook here as well. All right. Yes, absolutely. Excellent sticks. A lot of people do believe that. A lot of people find Facebook quite a nice communication one. And also there's things like birthdays and so forth and things like that often people use to celebrate. The most important thing, Axel on Sticks, of course, is you find what works for you and what works for your company. That's the most important thing at the end of the day. Just going to check if there's any questions so far. No questions. Okay. Not even the next section. Okay, that's great. So I'm going to move now on to the next section. So it's great interacting. Do remember, these are the opportunities to ask any questions as we go through it, because we're here to assist you and help you. All right. All right. So how to build a social media strategy, to truly get them to make the most, get the most opportunity. We've got one question which has come by. It's so hard to think in, I think this is Mo. It's so hard to think in return on investment when we paid more to boost a post or advertise. How do we think in return on investment in social media? It's a very good question, Mo. That's often what I talk about when, for example, when we talk about Google Ads as well. The problem is with ads, to a large extent, it is an investment. And yes, it can take time for people to they look at it and it takes a bit of time till they might actually click on it. One of the big things, of course, as well, that we do recommend with search engine optimization, some people do ask us about that. It sounds like we're avoiding the question. Of course, we're not. It's just to increase your return on your search engine optimization, you need to be in your digital footprint, not your carbon footprint, which of course you're shrinking, I hope. Your digital footprint, you're expanding as much as possible. So there's many places that people can find you, whether it's on, LinkedIn or social media, all sorts of different social media that you appear. All of those can really help. So yes, I'm afraid return on investment, it is an investment, so it can take time. You have to look at your return on investment, but to a certain extent, you have to put a certain amount towards investment. That is largely what advertisements are to a certain extent, obviously, but return on investment can guide you a little bit on what is really working well and what's not. But as I say, it does take time, and for people to gradually warm to what you're actually offering and everything. Okay, I hope that helps you a little bit. I hope that helps you, Mo. So it's yes, you must think of return on investment, but at the same time, you've got to think of investment. There's two things alongside. And one of the things, you've got to work out your budget. Your budget is a limit of the amount of money. You're welcome, Mo. The limit of amount of money you're willing to put. I do remember when I didn't have that much money at the time, I put £5 for a month. I think I got 2 clicks, but it meant a lot to me. But, of course, obviously, hopefully more than that. But the point is, you've got to work out how much you can invest in that kind of thing. Okay. Thanks, Matt. All right. So Piano XD sorry, I might have mentioned your name before, but that's a character called Piano XD. So does social media strategy come under digital marketing? Well, digital, to a large extent, digital marketing is covering everything. Within that is, of course, social media marketing. If that helps you, Piano XD. Digital marketing is covering masses of different sides, whereas social media strategy is only with the social media that you're using. Okay, hope that helps. All right, let us now get started. Thank you very much for the questions. Don't hold yourself back with the questions. It's a great opportunity. I can answer. Obviously, Roshan can answer as well, which she normally does anyway. But you know what I mean? It's an opportunity to discuss and enlarge on some of these different things. Okay, let's get on to the next step here now. So how to build a social media strategy. Of course, to get the most out of the opportunity, that social media can actually give your business, you need to create a strategy, and actually make use of the insights available. We'll discuss particularly the key steps to building a strategy and what are the metrics, the feedback, the numbers and everything to look out for when actually tracking your efforts. Okay, so 5 steps of actually to creating a social media strategy. All right. So the thinking of course, who your audience really are as opposed of who you want them to be, of course. The most important thing that you really do track according to who they really are. So firstly, define your audience, of course, defining them, work out. We talk about in other talks, social writing for social media, for example, we discuss in a little bit more length, recommend that talk. We talk about building up a persona. The persona is you imagine that person as closely as you can, what pet they have, what they call the pet. Yeah, I mean, as close as detailed so you can envisage this person almost, your main client. I mean, obviously, you can have different, divisions of different sectors because if you provide many different things, you have to do that. But you think at least your main client, your main customer, and then build on it. So defining your audience, firstly, and then second, setting your goals according to your audience, of course. Then, of course, with all of that in context, again, picking your platforms, again with your audience in mind, and then finding your social voice, which we'll be covering a little bit in further detail, and then defining what success looks like. You need to decide, have I succeeded? And so it's those different elements to actually gauge whether you have or not. Okay, so step one, defining your audience. So we've got here, who are they? What are they into? Who or what influences them? When are they usually online? So you can, when they're actually usually online, you can choreograph, as it were, your post, your boosting of your post at that time when they're particularly online. Which social media do they use? Of course, and then of course you can use that to help you. All right. So how to define your audience? The most ideal thing, speak to real people. If you have that as an option, you don't always have that option, but of course, sometimes you do. So you or your staff might engage with customers every day. Take down notes. What kind of questions do they ask? This kind of thing. It can be the moment to actually learn about them, their needs, and which platforms they engage with as well. And also what questions they have, what problems they have, their issues, what they'd like to, take it even further. So that's the most ideal thing. And then, of course, you can identify it, but you don't have to. You can choose digital things to help you. But I suppose the most natural is when you've got a person in front of you you're communicating with. Then, of course, you identify groups or segments. Once you have the data, make sure you're able to segment this, which means split them up into groups that you can now focus your marketing efforts around. And then, of course, build an actual online survey. Finding an easy way to collect this data can often be quite challenging. So you can actually create a simple online feedback survey using Google Forms, for example, or SurveyMonkey to collect that valuable data. One of the useful things with Google Forms is you can set it up if you've got a Gmail. One of the advantages of it is it'll build up as well a spreadsheet, and you can access the spreadsheet and check out the details. Okay. So that's with defining your audience. Let's have a little bit more detail into finding your insights from platforms. Okay. Now, most social media platforms, as I mentioned already, offer analytics built in. Often it's called insights, sometimes analytics. These are just a few examples of analytics from various platforms. Okay. So, we've got the over there on the left, you can see, I'll just take myself briefly off the screen just so you can see it a little bit more closely. You've got the different people, the number of people there. You can see the age group particularly. I think it's 25 to 34. I can't quite see from here. You might not be able to see either. Then we've got Facebook, their age and gender particularly. And you've got there the age as well. You're getting as well a little bit about the gender. And then you've got audience engagement as well to help you. This is the kind of thing that you will see to help you on all different social media, the kind of thing to assist you. And that way you can really understand your customers more, the age group they're there, all those different things. All right. Step 2. All right. So now you actually need to define your goals. You need to translate your business goals into social goals, social media goals. So how are you going to use your channels as a tool, to do the different things, to give better customer service, grow brand awareness, generate more sales, get more people on your site, connect with influencers. So all of those different sides you'll be going for with the defining your goals, okay? So set one social media goal. Now, we we refer to this as the double diamond framework to problem solving. We do use a lot of different frameworks to assist you, to help you. It's just a structure, it's like a tool that you can use to help you go through the whole process. So the 4Ds here, we've got discover what the goal is and how it helps, your businesses. Okay. Define what are the things that could get in the way. Okay. The obstacles. Develop what do you need to achieve this goal, and deliver how can you remove or work your way around these barriers. Okay. So these are a couple of the different things. There's discover, define, develop, deliver. So we've got here, work out how to mitigate, get around, remove, or get around the particular barriers. That's to help you. So that's discover, define, develop, and deliver. Just one thing I didn't mention when we got started with the talk. You have a chance actually up to 24 hours after I finished giving the talk. You can go back to the talk up till 24 hours after. Now, don't go back now. If you go back now, you'll miss out on the live chat, and so that's only really when I'm finished. But you've got up till 24 hours after I finished. You can't download it. No, we can't give you a copy of it. Of course, this is all copyright. This is Google copyright, obviously. But, you can watch it after I finished. And don't forget, there's also, we will be repeating this. And so, of course, you can hear it from a different person. We've all experienced in different industries and everything. You'll get different viewpoints and assistance on these different areas. Okay. So let's have a look now. So step 3 is choosing your channels. Are you a business, selling to customers or consumers, or the general public, or to other businesses? Each channel will require investment. Investment, what I mean by that, time particularly, and money, in order to actually optimize your results. It's a common misconception that it's free, but there is a paid side. If it's free, you're only reaching those people who are your friends and those followers of your friends, but you're not really targeting or anything like that. Of course, don't just be on all for the sake of it. Then you're really spreading yourself very, very thin, and you don't want to do that. There's a lot of added work, and you're not really going to achieve much. So, of course, you ideally need to work out where you're going to sort of live, on Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp, YouTube, whatever it might be. So just consider what is the most appropriate way, for you to really, to find your audience. Which channels are right for you? It can depend on business to business or business to customer. All right. Business to business, of course, are still consumers. You've got to remember this. There's still people within, that. So they will still be using those platforms, but can be creative all the way to, approach and ensure the timing is right and all those different areas. Okay, let's have a look at the different platforms you can be using. So with Twitter, as you know, it's quite a quick fire conversations and as a public relations tool. Particularly, it's that quick fire. That's where it started at the beginning, which was you could just put in a little comments. Now it's expanded. You can put longer text, and also you can put things, further information nowadays. But it's creative, professional-looking profile, header, image, and at name. You get noticed and join conversations by using relevant hashtags, ask questions around polls, retweet, and engage. And you can use pinned tweets to display important messages, offers, and etc. So then, of course, we've got here the example, Dollar Shave Club, once a month. It's speaking in the tone of their audience and everything. Simply, use of polls to reinforce their products, easy and quick to make as well. And they're getting feedback in the process. So that's Twitter. Then we've got Facebook. Now, this as well, again, of course, is to help customers find you and see what, your business is about. It links it to your main website. You can put links there, of course. Remember, with all of these different social media, you can often do that. You can add opening hours, contact details. You can change the call to action button, shop now, contact, buy now, for example. You can use GIFs and videos to generate interest and shares. We've got there particularly as well proper tasty, fast, quick, indulgent recipes or videos, and you can use of popular ingredients makes the videos viral, and tapping into trend for videos and culture of tagging friends in content on Facebook. So there's a couple of the different things. Okay, so that's Facebook. Often things like birthdays and all the rest also come up and that kind of thing too. Instagram. So, of course, as you know, it's a place to share photos and videos of anything, from new products to a day at the beach. Tell us. You can use captions as well, photo captions to tell a story. You go easy on the hashtags that we say. Follow influencers, brands, or people you find interesting. Learn from them as well. Of course, the big thing there is, consistent brand element in every image. If you choose particular certain colors within your brand and everything, make sure you include them. Don't have other logos and everything. So high quality, consistent colors, showcasing, products in creative ways, and doesn't disrupt the consumer's feed. This is a big thing as well. All right. So that's a couple of things with Instagram. LinkedIn. Okay. This is great for, of course, recruitment or company page, brand advocates, search engine friendly, showcase. You've got showcase pages you can use. You can share product news and thought leadership content. I find particularly with LinkedIn is obviously if yours is a small company, obviously you can set up a showcase page and everything, but I think a lot of people go first and foremost to me because, of course, I'm the person who's running the company and everything. So it's interesting, but often people will look for that. And what is interesting as well with LinkedIn is that if you get a review as well, someone puts a review, you can actually click on that person's review and find that person. And so it's got that element of authenticity to make sure you're finding out. We've got here on the right, we've got L'Oreal, posting thought leadership blogs, talent tips, post around 4 pieces of content per day. That's a lot, in my opinion, but that's my opinion. Wide range of content that is open to anyone, interviews employees for an insider insight. A lot of people want to know more, within the company and everything, how it works and everything. Then we've got YouTube. Now, YouTube is actually the second biggest search engine in the world. It's actually the most popular video sharing site where most people search videos for. I know with my wife, she does check often with videos. She has a passion at the moment with sewing, and often she'll go on YouTube, fall asleep watching a design or whatever it might be on YouTube. And of course, YouTube is, watched by a lot of people. I know myself, I do use it a lot as well. So with this one, of course, you can show anything from product reviews to your latest ad. You could be a thought leader and create shareable content. It's a very useful finding out how to do different things and everything. You can think about creating useful videos for your audience. You can look for potential collaborators to help grow your channel. Yes, most popular video sharing site, and YouTube launched Direct for Business app to actually help small business owners to get to grips with actually online video. And you can make a simple video in 20 minutes using a series of templates as well. The other thing is there's YouTube Creator Academy, which can be quite helpful to assist you with the different things with YouTube. Some people who've been really successful on YouTube. All right. So step 4, so your brand's social voice. Okay. Brand guidelines. So there's different things. There's logo, fonts and colors, your personality, how you're coming across. Is it upbeat? Is it serious? Is it all these different do's and don'ts, style of images? There's a few elements of the brand guidelines to be aware of: logo, tone of voice, images, and keeping things consistent. Now, if you're hiring someone to run your social campaigns, you can ensure they follow these guidelines, and it's so important that you do, and keep your brand tone consistent. You can use handy image creation software such as Canva. I don't know if you ever heard of Canva. Roshane will give you the link there for Canva to create images that fit your brand. Okay. So, is your tone friendly or provocative? Is your tone fun or serious? Is your tone formal or casual? So think about how your customer would react to any of those different tones. Remember, you don't have to have one tone of voice. Of course, you can choose different ones as well, of course. Just consistency of your values, your brand, and all that kind of side. You might set some principles to stick and then adjust the tone according to the type of content and platform. People do love a glimpse of what is actually going on. So for news, you might want to be, very formal, but whereas in a relatable how-to video, you might be more relaxed, for example. Okay, so here's an example. Now, This Girl Can campaign, it was huge on social media and continues to be so. So my question here, what is the tone of voice they use in this campaign? Which channels do you think they used? And how do you think the choice of tone and platform influences the success of the campaign? So that's This Girl Can. It's actually, so we've got under these gloves is a beautiful manicure. I also know the offside rule, sweating like a pig, feeling like a fox. So you've got it really nice and clear what we're putting across. It's quite, you could say, provocative of sort of social stereotype, as it were. And here we're saying these women can do any of these different things and they have full right to do them and they're proud of doing them. It's kind of almost using all those different elements, which is so important in the advertisement, and attracts particularly people who are largely wanting to do that and come across like that to a certain extent. So that became very, very popular, especially when you look at the history and everything and the time and everything, and it's so important, those kind of things. All right, so step 5, define success. All right. Of course, the big thing is you've got to be careful. Don't get distracted by the wrong numbers. What was your goal? Always go back to what is your goal. The number of followers can be a distraction. Make sure it's to do with your goal. Now, a lot of people look at followers, but can we actually measure engagement? Can we actually measure how people are talking about you online? Those different things. So sales, traffic, influencers, customer service, calls answered, star ratings, brand awareness, reach, mention, all those different areas. So consider paying. Now, where organic reach can only take you so far, it's very easy to pay a little extra to reach more customers, and it doesn't have to be expensive because, again, you can set the budget. The budget is your limit. Now, a few platforms make it difficult to actually gain reach without paying for it. So it works really well if your goal is more sales and growth, for example. Okay. Bringing everything together. So I'm going to go over these couple of different points before we get onto questions. There's a fair number, which is fabulous. So define the audience and how to make things relatable to them. That's a big thing, relatable to them, or relevant or relatable to them. Set one business goal and how to mitigate any barriers. Choose one or more channels, and then think about a tone of voice and potential content for specific channels. And then, of course, construct some ideas on defining success. What is success? Make it really sure and clear. All right. We're now moving on to questions, which there are some, which is wonderful. So Devika Sharma. So people have been using alternatives to Google Forms like SurveyMonkey. Absolutely. So should we also switch to these trending sites? And if yes, how should we convert the data? Okay. Now, this is totally up to you, Devika. You need to research, the pros and cons of Google Forms and SurveyMonkey, and just see if SurveyMonkey provides you with something that you really need, or Google Forms does likewise. I often use Google Forms just because, of course, it's free. And of course, one of the other things, course, that you get is everything goes onto a spreadsheet, so you can check the spreadsheet. So I can't really answer particularly that question, Davika, but do research and find out which is the best for you. All right. Okay, also Davika, so it's easier to collect business to customer data from business to business. All right. It's easier, sorry, it is easier to collect business to customer than business to business. Okay. Can you tell me how to optimize business to business, as in how to use social media to attract other businesses to come to your business? Okay. I gather your business is digital marketing solutions for businesses in India. Okay, great. So, all right. I mean, one of the things is, of course, even with businesses, they consist of customers as well. So there is always an element of that. One of the most used social media for business to business is LinkedIn, because it is very much oriented towards businesses. And of course, you have your CV there in a format. And of course, you can have reviews there, and people can see the reviews and all the rest. So, and also it's often a place for people for looking for work and that kind of thing. And but it's all around businesses and jobs and that kind of side. So not only jobs, of course, it can be business to business. So you can be putting different posts there to help you get out there for the different things. So I hope that helps you a little bit, Davika, with your two questions there. Yes, I would check it out, see if that's going to help you. Always don't forget, you can always certainly if you've got a website, you can use Google Analytics to help you get feedback and everything, to find out whether it's working, which particular social media channels are working, all that kind of thing. And then you've always got insights and analytics with each of your different social media. Okay, I hope that helps, Davika. I shall now move on to the third and last section. We're just easily within good time. So tools and best practice. Okay, now your social media, your social channels are often public. So of course, we're going to go over some best practices and tips you can actually use to make sure your strategies succeed. All right. That's great. I'm glad to hear that, Davika. You're very welcome. Okay, so what sort of content should we share? All right. To start, let's think about the types of content you may wish to post. And now this will differ per platform, but here's some simple starting ideas, okay? People love a glimpse of what's actually going on. You can try sharing announcements, things like new product and that kind of thing. Because the point is, if we're going to buy something, we're very curious about it. We want to find out further. Then there's non-promotional, in other words, behind the scenes insights. That can help massively. I don't know about you, but often I'm trying to solve a problem and I will actually look at the different videos, or I'll read the different things. I'm more video based, so I'll kind of probably normally watch the videos comparing the different kinds of makes, why these ones are better, why this one's glue, whatever it might be, lasts longer, if I'm talking about shoes. So those kind of different things. So the point is, the more you can help your audience and interest them with the different things that you're providing, the more that you will eventually probably sell. Because I don't know about you, I don't go immediately to buy. And often I will need to have done quite a lot of research and feel really convinced and really have the trust in this company before I might actually buy a service or buy a product, whatever it might be. So non-promotional really can help you. It is an investment in time, but it can really help you. Product or brand related. Okay, so product tips or tricks, that can help massively. I do composing. I do composing for film and everything. And often, I'll be going online to find a particular composer's viewpoint on this particular software that they use or that particular way of composing or whatever it might be. And it can really help. So then we've got here responses, engaging with a customer or influencer. That can really help a lot, of course. And then operational things like, job openings, that kind of thing, which can help them. Also operational different things like when they come and buy, when it's open, those kind of things, opening hours, recurring content, seasonal sales, all of those different things. All right. We'll take a few minutes and list 2 or 3 pieces of content you could create, the tone of voice and channel you would probably sort of publish it on. So the big thing is, experiences worth sharing. Consider how you can turn a delighted customer into a loyal social advocate. Maybe even, how you can actually encourage the customer to actually create a user-generated content first. Is there something in the real world that is shareable? For example, there's Coca-Cola and the Names on Bottles campaign, and Starbucks having season cups, for example. So let's go back to your list and think of ways you can encourage your audience to really engage with your brand, to go back and go through the different things and learn the different things. So it's largely how you can actually make the engagement authentic, relatable for them. It just means something, and timely within this particular time. So it's ideal you're coming out the right time, for example, for Christmas, whatever it might be, at the right time, or the time when they're going to be online, because there's a lot of feedback you can find out from analytics to help you with that. So tips for sharing content. First and foremost, we've got here, use great graphics. Now, there's Canva, for example. There's other resources, makes it really easy and affordable to create, quality social media graphics. Their library, for example, that's Canva's library of social media layouts are free to use as many times as you like, making it really easy to update your social profiles regularly. And you don't have to be a graphical designer to actually use it. So Roshane will provide you there the link. I think she's provided it there for you already. Canva, that's great. Thank you, Roshane. So, and then there's another one for checking your grammar. Now, I don't know about you, but grammar is very important. Whatever language you speak, it's very important that people take the time to come across correctly and everything. So Grammarly, that is, helps you check all your writing for grammar mistakes and can be added as an extension on your browser. Thank you, Roshane. Roshane is providing you there with a link there for Grammarly. Now, Grammarly is very useful, so you can add it as an extension. Certainly, if English is not your native language as well, it's there to assist you and help you. Then you can manage your social media accounts. It's fair to say, keeping up with continual posting and connecting with your customer base can be difficult and incredibly time consuming. There's one called Hootsuite. It's a very useful application for managing social media network channels, often referred to as a social media management system or tool. It enables you to really view multiple streams at once and monitor what customers are saying and that kind of thing. One of the most useful features is to schedule posts in advance. One of the things about this in posting, in actually planning those different posts, is that it gives your brain a chance to think back on it, and maybe you might think of something which would fit even better. So it gives you a chance to really develop these different things. And then, of course, pick the day and time that best suits your needs, okay? As well as when your clients are online, when they're hanging out and online and checking out the posts. You can then view scheduled posts in an easy to read calendar format. Sorry, I'm talking about Hootsuite and everything, setting it all up. All right, so now you've got the knowledge. Now let's see it in action. So set goals for a strategy, define a tone of voice for the audience, and the content as well. And then choose the right platforms to really focus on. The point is, with these different things, is you can learn a lot from different clients who are there already. By the way, we're coming up to questions, so do fire away with your questions. Any questions? because we've got a bit of time, actually. We've got another 11 minutes. We're finished. Well, officially. So these are a couple of the different things. So set the goals. The tone of voice is very important, the audience and the content that it relates to them. And then, of course, choosing the right platform and choosing the right platforms. Use all of this to help you and give you an idea. Don't forget to check out your competitors, what's working, what's not, what can you use, and all of those different areas. Okay. Pausing for questions. Okay, so we've got a little bit of time. We have time for questions. Fire away with your questions. I'll give you a chance to put them in there because I know there's a slight delay with the video. And once they're there, of course, Roshane will copy them across for me to see. There's no question at the moment, but I'll take this opportunity. If you think of anything, I can always come back if I move forward a little bit further. But there is a little bit of a delay, of course, so that might have given you a chance to come up with any further questions with this particular area. All right, I'm going to move on. I'll see if any questions turn up. So what are your next steps? Okay, so we've covered a lot of different things here to help you with social media strategy, to think of the different ideas, think of the different places to appear, what works and suits you best. The big thing is, of course, make sure that all of this is really working, that, people are really, you're attracting the right crowd, the right kind of people who are actually going to be on that particular social media, and the times when they hang out, and the kind of topics that they search for. All of those different things can help you masses. And don't forget, with your different posts, of course, with the social media, you're only actually getting across to your friends and friends of friends. You're not actually getting across to anyone else until you actually boost it. It's often called boost, but of course use paid social media. And then, of course, when it's paid, then you can really target it and decide who you want to target it to. And don't forget that as well, that you can always set a budget. The budget is the limit of money which you're willing to invest in it. And what Mo brought up earlier, it's very true. That actually there's kind of two sides you need to look at it. There's one side which is return on investment, absolutely. And because of the time factor, that it does take time for a lot of these things to really get across to people, to build the trust with people, to appear in enough places on the internet, your footprint on the internet. All of these things do, so to a large extent, it's investment as well, and investment over time. So how much you're willing to invest as well, of course, the return on investment. Okay, then I could wrap it up in even more lengthy way. Okay, so free one-to-one mentoring is available from Google. Now, don't forget that you could be speaking to one of us, but I'm afraid this is only really for small businesses or charities in the United Kingdom. As I said before, we're hoping eventually this will expand, but at present it's only in the United Kingdom. So you can sign up for Google Mentoring at g.co/UK mentoring. Thank you, Roshane. She's providing there with a link for booking a session. Speak to one of us. We can assist you with whatever particular area your business is at, and assist you, whether it's, whatever particular stage you're at, with increasing your reach, or whether you're at the stage where you're increasing your sales, or whatever it might be, or using Google Analytics. Often that comes up as well. Okay, so I want to thank you all for all your questions. That was great. We always like when you do join in and interact. That's what we're here to do, to assist you and help you. And it's quite nice that I could welcome you from your different country and everything, and also mention your names whilst I'm answering your particular questions. It's quite nice. So anyway, we're going to wrap up here. Not because we're out of time, but because we've covered all of this talk. Don't forget, any questions still outstanding, do ask. I hope this has been I hope this has been a useful dive into digital marketing strategy, or I beg your pardon, not digital marketing strategy, social media strategy, which brings up the question, I think it was Davika asking, let me see now. Yes, but it's really social media strategy that we've been looking at today. As I mentioned at the beginning of the session, if you are interested in more training from Google Digital Garage, there are a few ways you can actually continue learning. Now, we are running many more Google Digital Garage webinars in different subjects, digital marketing strategy. There's Google Analytics, there's writing for social media, there's getting started with live streaming, YouTube for your brand. There's all sorts of different things that can help you, all right, especially for small to medium businesses or big businesses, just to help you get out there. So there'll be, of course, as I mentioned, a lot of different topics available to watch. Don't forget, if you've missed anything in this talk and you want to go back to it, you have up to 24 hours after I finish giving this talk, you can go back to it. And of course, you can see the chat there on the side, everything. Also, if you would like to carry on learning online in your own time, check out the Google Digital Garage website for more online training courses, which are actually available to you 24/7. There's one, thank you, Rashain, she's providing you there with a link there. There's one I recommend called Fundamentals of Digital Marketing. Now, that covers all of digital marketing. And it's taken by Gori, who's the head of our company, and also works alongside Google, and also Sarah, who's Google in London. So it's a great opportunity to learn those particular things and take them further. So I do recommend that. It is quite long. It's about 20 hours long, but you can do it in your own time. It's not one sitting, of course, and you can access it 24/7. Okay, thank you very much, Rashain. You've been marvelous, wonderful, be ready to help. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. We really do look forward to welcome you again to another Google Digital Garage training session soon. Thank you.